You're about to see 20 of the worst football kits ever, so bad that even Sunday League players wouldn't be seen dead in them. Now they're getting the roasting they deserve, starting with the completely disgusting and only getting worse from there. Have you ever wondered what would happen if a minion got run over by a tractor? No, me neither. But Arsenal did in the early 90s. I would have also accepted a banana left on a Mario Kart track, a zebra with jaundice, and or an accident in the delivery yard of a custard factory. United wore grey to avoid being seen. Mission accomplished. Not a single player showed up at Southampton in 1995. They literally blamed the shirt for losing at half time as they were 3 goals down, so they changed the shirt to a bluer number to change their luck. It worked. They only lost 3-1. Imagine being so bad that you gaslit polyester. Or lost to Southampton. Norwich are nicknamed the Canaries, and in 1992 they showed us what would happen if a canary shit all over a shirt. A lot of people thought this was an attempt at a magic eye picture, where if you squint hard enough you see something. I can assure you, no matter how hard you squint, you won't see a decent kit here. 2 mentions now of why you don't want your shirt sponsors to be Burger King. Our first is this monstrosity, which is a constant reminder of what happens when you spill the contents of a burger onto your shirt. Usually the end product doesn't last for an entire season. Stevenage fans didn't have that luxury. On the face of it, this kit, worn by La Liga's side Getafe, doesn't seem so bad. No condiment design, no garish pattern. But what's this? As an added incentive for players to celebrate with their shirts over their heads, it would reveal a fetching image of the Burger King himself, giving any fan under the age of 5 nightmares for weeks. Do you ever forget the town that you're from? No. That's why it's especially odd that Stoke in the mid-90s decided to plaster their club name all over the front of their shirt in Windows 98 word art. This next one was designed by a respected artist, so revered that I can't even pronounce his name. It was inspired by the art in Bilbao's world-famous Guggenheim Museum, not in fact by some coral after someone's cut their foot open on it. All the decent kit designers must have taken time off in the early 90s, because on top of the Arsenal skid marks we saw earlier, and that Norwich shirt that even Alan Partridge would refuse to wear, there was this monstrosity. You'll never guess what Hull City's nickname is. That's right, wallpaper put up by a menopausal woman. Sorry, no, I mean the Tigers. It's a really good job other clubs haven't taken this approach to literally put their name to a kit design, especially Seaman Padang FC. 18 years later and South Korea clearly hadn't been watching English lower league football and made exactly the same mistake. They wanted a tiger look to go along with their mascot. What they got was something that Cruella de Vil might want to steal. Chocolate can be great. This is not an example of that. Admiral went from making underwear in the 1900s to making the iconic England shirt of the 1980s. On the way, when working with Coventry, they combined the two by making a shirt that was pants. It looked like someone's printed some pitch lines on a turd, which isn't the best look. We've already seen one marketing disaster courtesy of Burger King spilling their wares all over a kit. Now witness when Hollywood branding spunks all over the chests of young men. Namely, Atletico Madrid. Columbia Pictures had the not so terrible idea of promoting their latest releases on the team's home shirt. This was fairly subtle and tasteful. The away shirt, not so much. Still, at least it wasn't the dog shit Spider-Man 3 they were promoting. There was nothing cultural about Leonesa's shirt. They were seen wearing something that the annoying kid from school might turn up to on non-school uniform day. Straight from the Primark floor, these faux tuxedos built upon a similar design from the previous season. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke, do the same thing again with extra fake buttons on the cuffs. The designer of this shirt amazingly was allowed to work again for another team, whose medical themed shirts are the stuff of legend, and we'll look at later. Half Alpine Vomit, half Stock Market Crash. Celtic's kit from the early 90s looked like their form at the time. Bad. It's also worth noting that this was their away strip, which has pretty much the same colour scheme as the home equivalent, which is like dumping an identical twin for being ugly, only to marry her sister. Imagine getting promoted to the Premier League, only to have to burn all the evidence of you doing it. Supporters were left with no choice when Newcastle went up wearing not one horrible shade of yellow, but 2. The club said that the kit was a homage to Newcastle's traditional dish of the custard cream. They didn't say that, but they could have done. This Nets kit was such a bad shirt, it's not even a shirt. In 2002, Cameroon forgot that they weren't playing netball and chose not to wear sleeves. To be fair to them, it is hot in Africa. FIFA weren't happy with them doing this and banned the kit, only for the Cameroon FA to defy the definitely not corrupt in any way powers that be with this fetching one-piece number. FIFA docked them World Cup qualifying points, presumably because their bribe wasn't large enough. What inspires glory in a football team? If you answered broccoli, then you might be insane, or a Hoya Lorca fan. This Spanish second division side released a shirt that had the hated vegetable plastered all over it and resembled the product of a sneeze. The local region is famed for growing the vegetable children and your fat mate Dave have nightmares about, but the side actually got promoted the first season they adopted the broccoli design. And I can honestly say that this kit certainly looked like something I'd want to leave on the side in favour of something better. What do Battenberg, Mr. Blobby and a fruit salad suite have in common? They apparently all inspired the Hearts kit of 2016. It was released to commemorate the 5th Earl of Rosebery. He must have been the bloke who wore this costume on Noel's house party. We've had a burger ruin a couple of shirts, so why not a hot dog? The show Taskmaster once challenged their contestants to dress as America's favourite offal bun a couple of series ago, but lower league side AFC Bedale went one step further when they made 11 grown men do it for 9 months. This kit was a result of the club's sponsorship with Hex Sausages, unsurprisingly, a sausage manufacturer, and the shirt looked like what goes into most sausages. Crap no one wants. Man City might have been quite good in recent seasons, but their third kit for this one isn't. It's inspired by raindrops, but looks more like a training bib someone's cried all over because they were forced to wear it. Officially, the colours are cool weather pro green. Unofficially, everyone's been calling them shit. A combination of a keen cyclist and your nan's windscreen a good kit does not make. Remember the Tux shirt from earlier? Well, not satisfied with his work, the designer of that joke of a kit decided to go one step further when he designed the strip for Spanish lower league side CD Palencia. Apparently this outfit was chosen to show the players were willing to give their skin for the cause. I think it shows they were more likely to give their dignity.